Hey everyone, new payments are coming, and I mean big changes for millions of Social Security, SSI, SSDI survivor, and spousal benefit recipients. We're talking about payment amounts, the complete 2026 schedule, and that 2.5% cost of living adjustment that everyone's been waiting for. If you're wondering when your January payment hits your account and exactly how much you'll get, stay with me because I'm breaking down everything you need to know. And I'm not just stopping there. We're going to talk about why some people are getting 2 checks in 1 month, what happens if your payment doesn't show up on time, how to maximize every dollar you receive, and the hidden benefits that thousands of people are leaving on the table every single month. This is information that could literally change your financial situation starting next month. Before we go any further, I need just one quick favor. It takes 2 seconds to hit that like button on this video. It really helps us reach more people who need this information. Seriously, the algorithm pushes this content to more seniors, veterans, and families on disability when you engage with it. So if you found this video helpful or you think someone else could benefit from it, do me that favor right now. Hit like, and let's make sure this reaches everyone who needs it. All right, let's get into it. I'm Tony, and for the past year, I've been helping low-income families, seniors, veterans, and people with disabilities navigate government benefits. I know how confusing and stressful this system can be because I've lived it. I helped my own mother figure out her SSI when she couldn't work anymore. I remember sitting with her at the kitchen table, trying to understand why her payment was different 1 month, why it came on a different day, and how we could possibly stretch that check to cover everything she needed. And I've seen firsthand how one missed payment or misunderstood rule can completely derail your month. I've talked to grandmothers who couldn't afford their medication because they didn't understand the payment schedule. I've heard from disabled veterans who missed out on thousands of dollars in benefits they qualified for but didn't know existed. I've seen families struggle unnecessarily because nobody explained the system to them in plain English without all the government jargon. This video is for all of you, and when I say all, I mean it. In 2026, about 75 million people will receive some type of Social Security payment. That's not a small number. That's nearly 1 in 4 Americans. That includes retirees, disabled workers, survivors of deceased workers. And it's not just Americans 62 and older. Whether you're a senior who worked your whole life and deserves every penny of that retirement check, a mom on disability who's just trying to keep the lights on and feed your kids, a veteran receiving benefits after serving this country, someone on SSI who's dealing with health challenges that make working impossible, or you're getting survivor or spousal benefits after losing someone you loved, this affects you. Millions of Americans are still confused about when they're going to receive their January 2026 payment and how much it will be with that 2.5% COLA increase. I'm getting hundreds of comments and messages every single day from people asking the same questions. Tony, when does my check come? How much more am I getting? Why did I get 2 payments last month? Is there really a $200 increase coming? And I'm seeing questions everywhere about whether people are getting a fixed $200 increase for the next 6 months. Let me tell you right now, there's a lot of misinformation floating around out there, and I'm going to clear all of that up today. Everything is covered in this video. The truth, the facts, the actual numbers from the Social Security Administration. So make sure you stay until the end because I'm going to give you specific action steps you can take today to make sure you're getting every benefit you're entitled to. All right, let's talk about what's actually changing with your payments. Thanks to the 2.5% cost of living adjustment, Social Security benefits are going up in January 2026. Now, I know that doesn't sound like a lot when rent, groceries, and everything else keeps getting more expensive, but it's something. And for many of you, that something could mean an extra $40, $50, or even $100 a month. That might not sound like much to some people, but I know that for a lot of you watching this, that's the difference between paying your electric bill on time or sitting in the dark. That's the difference between buying your prescriptions or skipping doses. That's real money that matters. Here's what the Social Security Administration estimates. The typical monthly payment for a retired worker will rise from $1,227 to about $1,276 in January. That's an increase of approximately $49 per month. Again, this is not a huge increase, but something is better than nothing. Over the course of a year, that's almost $600 more in your pocket. That could be a few months of groceries, a copay for a medical procedure, or money toward an unexpected expense that would have thrown your budget into chaos. The COLA is designed to help checks keep pace with inflation, and it applies to benefits starting in January. The idea behind COLA is simple. As the cost of living goes up, your benefits should go up too, so you don't lose purchasing power. But here's the reality that nobody at the Social Security Administration wants to talk about. Even with these annual adjustments, benefits often don't keep up with the real costs that seniors and people with disabilities face every day. But here's where it gets controversial. According to a number of leaders, experts, and analysts, this administration needs to change the COLA metric from CPIW to CPIE. Let me explain what that means in plain English, because this is really important. And if enough of us speak up, we might actually be able to change this system for the better. Right now, they calculate COLA using CPIW, which looks at spending for urban wage earners and clerical workers. Think about that for a second. They're calculating how much your benefits should increase based on what working people in cities are spending their money on, not what seniors are spending their money on, not what people with disabilities are spending their money on, working people who are earning wages. But CPIE would analyze how much seniors actually spend on rent, mortgages, groceries, utilities, and especially prescriptions. And this matters because seniors and people on fixed incomes don't spend their money the same way that working people do. You're spending a much bigger percentage of your income on health care, on prescriptions, on medical equipment, on things that are getting more expensive faster than other goods and services. And according to analysts and experts, using CPIE could increase benefits somewhere between $300 to $500 more than what we're getting now. Think about that. $300 to $500 more every single month just by changing how they calculate the cost of living adjustment. That's not a small difference. That's life-changing money for millions of Americans. That's the difference between surviving and actually living with dignity. If you support this new COLA metric, write in the comments section, I support CPIE Tony. Because remember, if you don't do anything, nothing will happen. The people making these decisions in Washington don't hear from us. They hear from lobbyists and special interest groups, but they don't hear from the 75 million Americans whose lives depend on these benefits. We need to make our voices heard. We need to tell them that we want a COLA calculation that actually reflects our reality, not the reality of some office worker in their 20s. Let me break down the actual dollar amounts you can expect to see for Social Security retirement. Average monthly benefit around $1,276, up from $1,227. So if you're receiving an average retirement benefit, you're looking at about $49 more per month starting in January. Now, your actual increase might be a little more or a little less, depending on your specific benefit amount, but this gives you a general idea. Maximum benefits for high earners throughout their career, up to $4,173 to $5,108, depending on retirement age. If you worked at high income levels for 35 years and waited until age 70 to claim benefits, you could be receiving over $5,000 a month. But let's be real, most people watching this video aren't in that category. Most of us are getting closer to that average amount, or even less. Minimum benefits approximately $1,000 to $1,200, depending on work history. If you didn't work a full career or if you worked in lower paying jobs, your benefit is going to be on the lower end of the spectrum. And I want to acknowledge that living on $1,000 a month in 2026 is incredibly difficult. If that's where you are, please stick with me, because I'm going to share some additional resources and benefits you might qualify for. For SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance, average payment about $1,275 per month. If you became disabled and couldn't work anymore, SSDI replaces a portion of your income based on your work history. The average recipient is getting about $1,575 a month, which will increase with the 2.5% COLA adjustment to around $1,650. Maximum disability benefits around $3,122 if you paid in at higher income levels. The maximum SSDI benefit is the same as the maximum retirement benefit at full retirement age. So if you were a high earner before you became disabled, your benefit will be higher than someone who earned less throughout their career. For SSI supplemental security income, this is where things get really important for some of you. Individual recipients, $967 per month, up from $943. That's an increase of $24 per month for individuals receiving SSI. If you have limited income and resources and you're either 65 or older, blind or disabled, SSI provides cash to meet basic needs for food, clothing, and shelter. Couples, $2,450 per month. If both you and your spouse receive SSI, the couple's rate is $1,250, which is less than double the individual rate. This is one of those quirks of the system that doesn't always seem fair, but that's how it's structured. Essential persons, someone who lives with and cares for an SSI recipient. An additional $484. If you have someone living in your household who provides you with necessary care, they might qualify for this essential person payment. A lot of people don't know about this benefit, so if you have someone helping you and they live with you, it's worth looking into. For survivor and spousal benefits, this is an area where I see a lot of confusion, so let me break it down clearly. Widow or widower benefits average around $1,988 per month. If your spouse passed away and they were receiving Social Security benefits, you may be eligible to receive survivor benefits based on their work record. The amount you receive depends on several factors, including your age when you claim benefits and what your spouse was receiving. Spousal benefits, typically 50% of the primary worker's benefit amount. If your spouse is receiving Social Security retirement or disability benefits, you may be eligible to receive spousal benefits equal to up to 50% of their benefit amount. So if your spouse receives $2,000 a month, you could receive up to $1,000 a month in spousal benefits, assuming you've reached full retirement age. I want to be real with you. These increases help, but they don't always keep up with how much prices are actually rising. If you're feeling like this COLA isn't enough, you're not alone. Millions of people are in the same boat. I hear it in the comments every single day. Tony, my rent went up more than my Social Security. Tony, my medication costs doubled, but my check barely changed. Tony, I'm eating one meal a day because I can't afford groceries anymore. I see you. I hear you. And you're absolutely right to feel frustrated. The system isn't perfect. But what we can do is make sure you're getting every single dollar you're entitled to, that you understand exactly when your money is coming, and that you know about other programs and benefits that can help fill the gaps. That's what this channel is all about. Now, let's talk about when you get paid, because for most of us, knowing when the money will hit your account is just as important as knowing how much it will be. You need to plan your bills around that date. You need to know when you can go grocery shopping. You need to know when you can refill your prescriptions. The timing matters just as much as the amount. For most Social Security recipients, the day you were born determines the week your check is issued every month. The Social Security Administration groups recipients into 3 birthday tiers and generally pays benefits on Wednesdays. This system has been in place for years, and while it might seem arbitrary, it helps the SSA manage the massive volume of payments they process every month. Here's how it works. If you were born between the 1st and 10th of the month, your payment typically arrives on the 2nd Wednesday of the month. So let me give you a specific example. In January 2026, if you were born between January 1st and January 10th, or any month between the 1st and 10th, you'll receive your payment on January 8th, which is the 2nd Wednesday of the month. If you were born between the 11th and 20th, you're paid on the 3rd Wednesday. Using our January example, if your birthday falls anywhere from the 11th to the 20th of any month, your January payment will arrive on January 15th. If you were born between the 21st and 31st, you receive your benefits on the 4th Wednesday. So for January, that would be January 22nd. I know some months only have 28, 29, or 30 days, but if you were born on the 29th, 30th, or 31st, you're still in that final group, and you get paid on the 4th Wednesday. Now, a lot of people ask me in the comments, it's the 1st Wednesday. Why haven't I received my payment? Let me be clear. It starts from the 2nd Wednesday and goes to the 3rd and 4th, not the 1st. I can't tell you how many times I've had to explain this, but it's important to understand so you're not panicking on the first Wednesday of every month thinking your payment is late when it's actually coming the following week. There are a few exceptions to this schedule, and this is really important. Beneficiaries who first began receiving Social Security before May 1997, as well as those who receive both Social Security and SSI, typically get their Social Security payment on the third of the month, regardless of their birthday. This is a big exception, and it affects millions of people. So if you're getting both benefits, you get paid on the third every month. It doesn't matter when your birthday is. Your Social Security comes on the third period. SSI payments on their own are generally sent out on the first, but if that date falls on a weekend or holiday, the SSA issues the payment on the preceding business day. So if the first of the month is a Saturday, Sunday, or federal holiday, your SSI payment will come early on the last business day before the first. And here's something critical. That's why millions of SSI recipients received two payments in December. You got your first SSI payment on December 1st, your regular December payment, and the second one came on December 31st. Why? Because January 1st is a federal holiday, New Year's. So Social Security Administration sent your check prior to the actual payment date because of this calendar quirk. They can't send payments on holidays, so they send it the business day before. The same thing happens in January 2026. SSI recipients will get their February payment early on January 31st because February 1st falls on a weekend. So you'll see two SSI payments in January. Your regular January payment on January 1st, well, actually, since January 1st is a holiday, you probably got that one on December 31st, and then you'll get your February payment early on January 31st. Just remember, you won't get another payment until March 1st, so plan your budget accordingly. This is crucial. When you get two payments in 1 month, it's really tempting to see that money and think you're ahead, but you're not actually getting extra money. You're getting next month's payment early. So you have to make those two payments stretch until March. That's 2 full months you need to budget for. All right, here's the complete Social Security payment schedule for 2026 based on the Social Security Administration's official calendar. Write this down or screenshot it. Better yet, print it out and put it on your refrigerator so you always know when your money is coming. January 2026. SSI recipients got their payment on December 31st, 2025. Social Security recipients who started benefits before May 1997 or who also receive SSI will be paid on January 3rd. Birthday Group 1-10 receives payment on January 8th. Birthday Group 11-20 receives payment on January 15th. Birthday Group 21-31 receives payment on January 22nd. And SSI recipients will receive their February payment early on January 31st. February 2026. Social Security recipients who started before May 1997 or who also receive SSI will be paid on February 3rd. Birthday Group 1-10 receives payment on February 11th. Birthday Group 11-20 receives payment on February 18th. Birthday Group 21-31 receives payment on February 25th. No SSI payment in February since it was paid early on January 31st. I could continue with the entire year, but you get the pattern. The schedule repeats every month following this same structure. The key is knowing which group you fall into and marking your calendar accordingly. The Social Security Administration has this full calendar available on their website at ssa.gov if you want to see all 12 months laid out. Now, what if your payment date comes and you don't see the money? A number of people ask me, it's Wednesday, I haven't received my payment, what should I do? First of all, don't panic. There are several reasons why you might not see your payment immediately, and most of them are easily fixable. Here's what the Social Security Administration recommends. First, contact your financial institution or your bank and ask them if there's anything wrong with your account. Sometimes the issue isn't with Social Security at all. Maybe your account was flagged for some reason. Maybe there's a hold on deposits. Maybe your direct deposit information changed and you didn't realize it. Make sure your direct deposit information is correct and up to date. Ask your bank specifically, has the Social Security Administration sent a deposit to my account? Second, if your bank gives you the green light and confirms there's no issue on their end, wait 3 business days before contacting Social Security. The SSA requests that you wait 3 business days from your scheduled payment date before reaching out to them about a missing payment. This is because sometimes there are processing delays, and the payment might post to your account a day or two later than expected. Third, if it's been more than 3 business days and still nothing, contact Social Security Administration for your missing payment. You can call them at 1-800-772-1213. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. local time. Yes, you're probably going to be on hold for a while. I'm not going to lie to you about that, but they will give you the details. And if there's anything wrong, they'll tell you right on the spot. They can see exactly when your payment was issued, where it was sent, and if there's any problem with your account. If you're not sure which payment group you fall into or want to confirm your exact payment date, you can check through your My Social Security account at SSA.gov, or you can download the My Social Security app, which is really important to have. Seriously, if you haven't set up your My Social Security account yet, do it today. It's free, it's secure, and it gives you 24/7 access to your benefit information. If you have the app or an online account, it will be much easier for you to find answers to your general questions because this is how the whole Social Security Administration system works. You can see your payment history going back months or even years. You can verify your benefit amount and see exactly how they calculated it. You can get your payment schedule all in one place. You can even update your direct deposit information, your address, and your phone number without having to call or visit an office. But you can also subscribe to our channel right here because we give you all the information about your benefits every single day. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now and click the bell icon so you get notifications whenever we post. Because let me tell you, things change all the time. New programs get announced, payment schedules shift, eligibility rules get updated, and I'm here every single day breaking it all down for you in plain English so you don't have to spend hours digging through government websites trying to figure it out yourself. Let me give you some specific practical advice based on your situation, because knowing when your check is coming is just the first step. The real question is, how do you make that check stretch as far as possible? How do you make sure you're not leaving money on the table? How do you get through the month without having to choose between medication and food? For moms and dads, if you have kids, check if you qualify for SNAP, food stamps, WIC, or free school meals. Many families don't realize their kids can eat breakfast and lunch free at school, and some areas offer meals even during breaks. I'm talking about summer food programs, weekend backpack programs where kids get sent home with food for the weekend, and holiday meal programs. This can save you hundreds of dollars a month on groceries, which means more money for rent, utilities, and other expenses. There's no shame in using these programs. They exist specifically to help families like yours. For veterans, you might qualify for VA benefits on top of Social Security. Don't assume you can't get both. You absolutely can. Check with the VA or a veteran service organization. You've earned these benefits, whether it's disability compensation from the VA, pension benefits, health care benefits, or even help with housing. There are programs specifically for veterans that work alongside your Social Security benefits. Many veterans don't even know what they qualify for because they've never checked. For people with disabilities, look into your state's Medicaid programs for help with medical costs, transportation, and even home modifications. Medicaid can cover things that Medicare won't, like long-term care, personal care services, and dental care. Some states also have emergency funds specifically for people on SSDI. If you're facing an unexpected expense, like a broken wheelchair, a furnace that went out, or a medical bill you can't pay, there might be emergency assistance available. You just have to know where to look. For seniors, if you're paying a lot for Medicare, you might qualify for programs that help cover premiums, deductibles, and prescriptions. Look up Medicare savings programs in your state. These programs have names like QMB, SLMB, and QI, and they can help pay your Medicare Part B premium, your deductibles, coinsurance, and co-payments. This could save you hundreds every month. And many seniors who qualify for these programs don't even know they exist. For SSI recipients, since you're getting 2 payments in January, your regular January payment and your early February payment, this is your chance to get ahead. I know it's tempting to see that money and spend it right away, but here's what I want you to do instead. Stock up on essentials. Buy non-perishable food items when they're on sale. Get your prescriptions refilled. Pay ahead on bills if you can, or save a little cushion for emergencies. Even if you can only set aside $50 or $100, that's money you'll be grateful to have when an unexpected expense pops up. Just remember, you won't get another payment until March 1st. That's a long stretch, and you need to budget accordingly. And everyone should check out local food banks, utility assistance programs, and community resources. There is no shame in getting help. These programs exist because we all need support sometimes. I've talked to so many people who struggled for months or even years before they finally reached out for help, and they all said the same thing: I wish I had done this sooner. Food banks aren't just for homeless people. They're for anyone who needs help putting food on the table. Churches, community centers, and nonprofit organizations often have programs to help with utility bills, especially in the winter. Some areas have programs that provide free or low-cost internet, phone service, and even transportation. Here's the bottom line. January 2026 brings a 2.5% cost of living adjustment to Social Security, and payments are going out according to the schedule I just gave you. Mark your calendar based on your birthday. Set a reminder on your phone if you need to. And if you're on SSI, remember you're getting 2 payments in January, but then you have to wait until March for your next one. For millions of Americans, knowing when the money will hit your account is just as important as knowing how much it will be. These payments aren't always enough. I get that. Believe me, I understand. But knowing exactly when your money is coming and how much to expect gives you the power to plan, to budget, and to take control of what you can control. You can't control the cost of rent or groceries. You can't control what Congress decides to do with Social Security, but you can control how you manage the money you do receive. You're not alone in this. About 75 million Americans are relying on these same payments, facing the same struggles, and doing their absolute best every single day. That includes you. You're not lazy. You're not asking for handouts. You either worked your whole life and earned these benefits, or you're dealing with health challenges that make working impossible, or you lost someone who provided for you. These benefits are yours. You've earned them, or you qualify for them, and there's no shame in that. If this video helped you, please hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon so you don't miss any updates on benefits, payment schedules, or new programs that could help you. I post videos about this stuff every single day because I know how much you depend on accurate, timely information. I'm not here to sell you anything. I'm not here to scam you or get your personal information. I'm here because I've been where you are, my family has been where you are, and I know how much it helps to have someone explain this stuff in plain English. Drop a comment below and let me know. Are you on Social Security, SSI, SSDI, or getting survivor benefits? What's your biggest challenge right now with making ends meet? Is it the cost of prescriptions? Is it rent? Is it groceries? Is it utilities? Tell me what you're struggling with because that helps me understand what kind of content I need to make for you. And if you support changing the COLA metric to CPIE so that your benefits actually reflect the real cost of living for seniors and people with disabilities, right? I support it, Tony, in the comments. Let's show Washington that we're paying attention and we demand better. If you have any questions at all, let me know in the comments below, and I'll be happy to answer each and every one. I read every single comment. I might not be able to respond to all of them immediately, but I see them, and your questions help me understand what topics I need to cover in future videos. This channel will always be with you in your good times and difficult times. Whether you're celebrating a win or struggling to get through the month, I'm here for you. We're a community, and we look out for each other. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video very soon. Until then, please take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones, and have a wonderful rest of your day. You've got this. We've got this together.